so you can work on your Spanish today?
What?
Test everything?
I'll figure out 100%.
I don't know.
Because me and Bill are the ones that went and studied this morning.
Have fun with that.
I should have won.
Well, don't you have to take Spanish to graduate? No? No, let's go to college.
You have to have 2 years.
Go to
Most
Japan.
colleges want 2 years.
Yes. Some want 4.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on what you're going to college for.
And Iowa State, well, Iowa's 4 years. Iowa State's, I think, 3 years.
No, Iowa State's 2.
Sure.
Me and Bailey looked it up last night. I had homework and I asked if I could
See,
go to their
like,
house and
I know all of them, like where they're at. It's just I can't remember how to spell them out. Like some of them I know.
It's kind of how I am, but I can't remember the word.
Isn't there a timer too? Didn't you say there's
Yeah,
timer?
like, you can't take more than like an hour or something. Or not an hour, like.
What are you talking about? Is there
I
like
think it's like half hour you can't take it out anymore.
no? I'm saying like time, like on clock in the test.
Yeah, there's time.
Yeah.
Alex is gone.
I'm
Hannah will be here. She's here. So her lock wasn't opening correctly, so we got that figured out. So, okay. Today we're gonna do a couple notes. I want to do a couple things with. There's Hannah right there. Perfect. You got it open?
Yeah, I just forgot the conversation.
Oh, it happens. No worries. So, it happens. All right. We're gonna do just a few notes today. Eventually we will get a small assignment. It's 4 problems. That's all it is. 4 problems. I think you'll be fine. But I want to make sure we cover things today. I'll explain what I want for that. Does everyone still have that division, the multiplication chart? Does everyone still have one of those? Okay. You will definitely want that today, the multiplication chart. So I think I put one on the website. You can see it. Let's talk about this website idea. I didn't realize something was happening on the website. I should have known because I know like Beth, you came in and asked one day about something, and some other people emailed me the other day about the website, and I didn't realize there was an issue with my website that I made. Okay, and let me explain here. Okay, so hsmath.org, right? That's my website. Everyone, if you've been on it, it's pretty clean, pretty easy. Just the website looks like this. There, it says mathematics, Mr. Ward. You can see my handwriting on a chalkboard. Then it's got a couple buttons at the top where it's got like lessons. It's got basketball, volleyball, student council, whatever. But you can click lessons. It will take you, and it'll have a little drop down. You can click general math and whatever. If you scroll down the page, you eventually find general math at the bottom. You can click that or the book, whatever you want to do. But here's the issue. Okay. So let's say you click lessons, you click general math, and it said, general math in the middle here, general math. Okay, and then it has, a slight description of what general math is, and then it had, the links for the lessons, correct? It had the links. This is what the web page looked like. What's the problem right now with that?
Videos aren't on
No, the video's there. If you click on them, the video will be there.
there. They're not numbered.
They're numbered. They're numbered by date and the section number. But here's the problem. Look at how many there are. There are 10. We've had like 20 days of school. So I was updating. I was putting the website. I was putting the videos, putting all the lessons in there. But what I didn't realize is on your end, because I'm always logged in, so I see everything that's there, and I keep posting, and I'm updating every single night for an hour, trying to get everything nice and pretty. But I didn't realize it wasn't going past 10. And the worst part is the 10 it was displaying were the first 10 days. It wasn't doing the latest day, it was doing the first 10 days. I didn't even know this until somebody emailed me like, Mr. Ward, I can't find a lesson you posted Monday or Friday, I was gone. Well, it's on the website, and I didn't email them yet. I'm like, it's on the website, so I clicked and I went to the website thinking maybe there was an issue, maybe my video didn't upload, right? No, there was an issue because it literally wasn't showing. It wasn't showing for like if you didn't have the login for the website. So, what I found is that the page was limited to 10 lessons. I was like, oh God, how do I get around that? It's 10 lessons. I mean, there was 180 days of the year. So here's what I did. And this is what I want you guys to know so that you guys can access every lesson, every video, because I didn't realize it wasn't doing it correctly. Okay, so I made a little box here. Okay, if you've been to the website last night or this morning, the little box there, it says chapter 1. Chapter 1, and it only shows 4. This box is a carousel spin. Okay, so it's got a little button up here that has arrows. If you click the arrow, these 4, which are lessons 1, 2, 3, and 4, they'll spin and they'll be replaced with 5, 6, 7, 8. And it just rotates, right? It just turned. You see it literally turn in front of you. So it shows you 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, it's not numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's numbered by the date. So yesterday's date was like September 13th, so it says September 13th below it, and it says, the section we're in. We were in section, 1.7 yesterday, averages, and it literally says that below. Okay, it's got some like mock picture here, but then it says, section, it has the date below it, and so that's how they're numbered. So, and you can click and it'll show you every single one. So you have to click to find the correct date and whatever we talked about, okay? When we move into chapter 2 next week, because I know we have the end of the chapter, right, it's coming up. I'll make another carousel down here, and I'll make these chapter 2. So chapter 2's videos will only show in here. Does that make sense now? Like what I'm going to do? Okay, so right now it doesn't look pretty, because I made this, I found out about this like 10 minutes before my bus left last night for volleyball. So I was trying to scramble to make sure everyone can access videos last night. So it's not pretty, but it does work. And so chapter 2's will be here. Once we're heavily into chapter 2, I'm going to move chapter 2's videos up. Like this box will be up here now. Chapter 1's will move down that way. The newest videos are always on the top of the page. Does that make sense now? Like what I want, so you don't have to scroll forever to go find the videos that you want. But they're always all going to be there, so no worries. They will all be there so you can actually access them. So hopefully that makes more sense. Okay, we comfortable with that now? I didn't even realize that was happening. I should have known. I didn't even think about it when people kept emailing me saying I didn't know what the assignment was. So like, it's on the website, like everything's there, but it wasn't showing. So I completely understand. They are there. Like everything's there. You can click through. I can show you later. I can bring up my computer here and I can show you kind of what the web page looks like so you know how it runs. But I'll fix this up. It'll look a little more clean. But I just want to make sure everyone knows how that website works. So because I spent so much time doing it that it pained me that like I didn't even realize that that thing was happening in the background. So that limit of 10 lessons on the page. So, okay, we good so far? Okay, hopefully that makes sense. All right, let's move on to this new section we're in. We're in section 1.7 here. We started this yesterday. It was called Finding Averages. Finding an average. And we talked about a few vocab words yesterday. And we did that example like before lunch and we finished after lunch. Well, today I want to do at least one example or two to make sure that you are very comfortable. And this is where you might need your multiplication chart.
Number 3.
But is that the right one?
That is not the book that we ordered. That might be Weisenstein's. She had statistics.
Oh. Okay.
Maybe. I hope. Hopefully there was not
That's
a huge
yours.
issue. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so finding an average. The vocab terms that we discussed yesterday, vocabulary. Number one thing we discussed was central tendencies. Okay, central tendencies is literally a central, meaning middle-ish, right? Middle, and then the tendency is like the possibility of hitting the middle. That's what tendency means, the possibility. It's a pattern. And what we discussed is those vocab words. We talked about the mean, median, and mode. These are the 3 things I want to make sure we know how to find today. So your 4 problems I'm going to assign you today. 4 problems, that's it. You're going to get 4 numbers. Okay? You're going to have to find the mean, median, and mode for each of those 4 problems. So each problem will have 3 different answers. Does that make sense? So it's not bad. It's pretty straightforward. And I'm not giving you a list of like 20, 30 numbers long. There's like maybe 5 numbers in that list. So, the mode will be probably the most common one that you probably won't have an answer for. Because if there's only 5 numbers, they probably are not repeating the same number a couple times. So we'll talk about mode, but these are the 3. The mean is actually the title of the chapter. It's the average. That's what mean means. Okay, so let me put those vocab words here. So, mean, that term means an average. We'll discuss that one more time, what an average is. The median is literally the number in the middle of the list, when you put them least to greatest, the middle digit. You will have that today, some of the numbers, there's 5 numbers there. And the mode is the number that happens the most. I think the example we did yesterday was Alex made an example where he used the number 6 a bunch of times. That was the mode of that problem, because it happened the most, right? Okay, so these are going to be the 3 that we're going to do, and then eventually, yes, we will get homework 4 problems today. That's it, just 4. And that homework assignment will be due on Friday. Due Friday. Okay, and there'll be 4 problems. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, so everyone understand, have a clear understanding of what we're talking about today? I think it's pretty straightforward, pretty easy. Alright, let's jump right in. Let's do an example. I'm just going to pick a couple numbers here. I'll pick something with like 7 numbers so we can see this. I'm going to pick some smaller numbers. So we're going to go, let's go with 7, 5, 13, let's go with 15, 13, 16, and the number 2. Okay. So there's my list of numbers. I kept it relatively small numbers. Some of your numbers will be bigger. 2 digits, I don't think we have a 3-digit number today, I don't think. Okay. Now, what we're going to do, the first thing when you first start this problem, let's say this is my example, the first thing I'd like you to do is rewrite it. Okay, because right now this is the example maybe you find in your book. This is just a list of numbers, right? I want to write this in what we call a roster method. We talked about this yesterday. Okay, how do I rewrite these numbers? Well, what do you guys remember from roster method from yesterday?
Put on least to greatest.
Least to greatest. That's exactly right. Least to greatest. That's roster method, right? So least, so small to big. Small to big. That's how it works. Least to greatest. Okay? That's what I want. Okay, and now it's a set, so we're going to put them in little curly braces, right? So, what's my smallest number? The 2?
2.
Then 5, 7, 13, 13, 15, and 16. Okay, so we put them least to greatest. Alright, and now what we're going to do is we're going to find, now that we put them, you have to reorganize them, so least to greatest, small to big. Now what we're going to do is we're going to find each of these terms for this problem. So mean, median, and mode. Okay? So let's start with the mean first. Okay? So I'll put them over here just so you can see it. So the mean is literally the definition of mean is the average of your numbers. So what do you remember yesterday? How do we find average of something?
We add them all the numbers up and divide how many there are.
Exactly. So we're going to add these digits up. We're going to do it by hand. And then we'll divide by how many there are. I believe there's 7 numbers. I told you that. I was going to use 7 digits. So we're going to divide it by 7 in the very, very end. Okay, so we're going to add these together. So 2 plus 5 plus 7 plus the 13 plus 13 plus 15 plus 16. And then whatever this answer is in the very end, we'll divide it by 7 because there is 7 numbers there. That's the idea. If there was 20 numbers, you divide by 20. Okay? Alright, so let's add these together. What do we get? This makes 7 plus 7, what is that? So these 3 numbers make 14 together. And I'll keep adding here. 13, 13, 15, 16. Alright, so far so good. Let's keep adding. This makes what? 27. Okay, keep adding. Adding these together, I get 40. Exactly 40. That's kind of nice. Adding these together, I get 55. And then add the 16 last, I get 71. Double check my math. I think that's right. 71 if I add 55 and 16. But now, if you need to, add those by hand. You know, make little columns, add them up. I don't care how you do it. So, but you are going to have to do it by hand. So I'm not gonna allow you to use a calculator on that, so you have to add. Now, we're not done yet, because what do I have to do with the 71?
Divided.
Divided by 7. There's 7 numbers in that list. This is how you find the average. The average is the answer for this, when I take the 71 divided by 7. Okay, so this is where we're gonna need to use our multiplication chart. Okay, so 7's on the outside, right? So we're gonna try to go, because this number isn't very big, so what number do I take that would get me closest to 7 here?
7.
Mm.
Oh, 1.
1, right? So 7 gets me closest to 7 if you go straight up on that box, the number 1's above it, because 7 times 1 is 7. So I subtract, you get the number 0, you bring down the next number. Okay, how many times can I take 7 times something that will get me close to the number 1? Nothing, because every number's in that list, every number's bigger than 7 on that list, so I have to take it times 0. And that remainder, so 7 times 0 is 0, your remainder is the number 1, so it's R1. So roughly, what is our average?
10.1.
10 point something. It's not 0.1, it might be point something, right? So the idea is that the mean for this problem, the average of all these numbers is roughly 10 point something. Okay, so that would put me right around here in this range. Okay, and not like visual, but like in the middle of between 2 to 16. It's in the middle-ish area. Okay. Any questions with how you find means, averages? The hardest part probably about that is probably the adding. Just adding up all those numbers and make sure you're not getting the wrong number, and then dividing using your little multiplication chart. Question?
Actually, it's 10.14.
So you were right, 10.14. Alright, so, yeah, because 71 divided by 70, I would have the decimal on it. So, alright, so that's your mean. Okay, so now let's talk about the median. Now these are easy because now we don't have to think too hard, because the rest of them are pretty straightforward, pretty easy. Okay, the median is the number in the middle of the list. So now you don't have to think too hard. Okay, so we're going to count inwards. So there's 7 numbers here, so I need to basically find the number in the middle of 7. So I just cross these out, going inside out. That's your middle number. That's the median. It's literally the number in the middle of the list. Ooh, I almost wrote the word median again. 13. It's the number in the middle of the list when you had all 7 written least to greatest. Okay, does that make sense? Now if it's an even number, let's say you only had 6 numbers in your list. So 2, 5, 7, 13, 15, 16. Let's say that this is your list. And you're trying to find the middle number, right, median. Well, there's 6 numbers, so it's kind of even. There's no like middle number in the middle. You have to find the middle of these two. What's the middle between 7 and 13?
7.5?
No, it's gotta be higher than 7.5.
10?
Like, it's gotta be, yeah, it's 10. It's exactly 10. Because it's 3 this way, and 10 is the perfect middle, so that would be the median in that case. Okay, it's the number directly in between 7 and 13. It could be a decimal. So, just be careful of that, okay? Alright, any questions with how you find medians? It's easy when there's odds, because it's just, it's the middle number, it's 13 there, it's literally the number in the middle of the list. So that's kind of nice. And the mode, what number happened the most? 13, so that's nice. So it looks like the overall central tendency number on this problem is probably 13. That's the number that's occurring more than not. But does everyone see that there's 3 answers to these problems? Okay, now here's my question to you. Do you want to go through another one? Just to make sure we can go through everything? Okay, let's do one more. Okay, we'll just make a list. Okay, here's my question to you. Do you want 7 numbers again? Do you want 5? Do you want 6 numbers? What do you want?
Let's do an even.
Even? 6? Okay, let's do 6 numbers. Okay, or 4, because we're gonna let's do 6. And let's do some other numbers here. Okay. Let's do some 2-digit numbers now. Do some bigger numbers. So let's go with 30, 56, 70, 41, 49, 313, and let's go with 64. Okay, so there's my list as an even number. Okay, so you got your list, hopefully you're already written them down. What's the first thing we need to do?
Least to greatest.
Least to greatest. We gotta go to roster method, right? We have to get them from the list, least to greatest, and number value. So, what's my smallest number up here? 30? What's the next smallest? 41, 49, what we got? 56, 56, 64, and 70 is my biggest. Alright. There you go. Okay, makes sense? Least to greatest? Okay, big numbers are small to big. Okay, so now, let's start the whole process here. So we gotta find the mean, we gotta find the median, and the mode. It looks like the mode will be the tricky one. The mode, we don't actually have a mode on this problem because there's not a number that repeated, so we'll have to worry about that. But let's do the mean first. Okay, so that means we gotta average these numbers up. A minute or so. Okay, so let's add these up. We got 30 plus 41. Looks like we'll probably just get these added up before lunch. That's 56, hopefully. 64 and 70. Okay, so we're gonna add these up. What does this make when you add these? 30 plus 40?
71.
71, okay, we're gonna do 49 now. Plus the 56, plus the 64, I'm just gonna go down in order, okay? This adds together to make 120. That's right, it's 71 plus 49, yes, that's 120 even. 56, 64, 70. I'm gonna add these up, that makes 176. Plus 70. Geez, I don't even know that number. 176 plus 64. I can do that in my head. 0, 1, that's a 14. Carry a 1, that's 240. Zowie. 240 plus 70. And we add those together, and I think I get 310. If I add this up. So I mean, does that seem about right? 240 plus 70. Carry the 1. Yeah. Okay, so 310 now, what do I have to divide by?
6.
6, there's 6 numbers in that list.
Bryson Bogey, please come to the office. Bryson Bogey.
Okay. I can't go into 3, but what number can 6 get closest to other than 30, 31? What's
30.
30, so it's above 30 is what the number 5, so that's 30, you subtract, you get the number 1, bring down the next digit, which is 10, 6 goes into 10, closest is 1s. That's a 6 with a remainder of 4. So when I subtract. So it looks like my average is about 51 point something.
51.6.
51.6-ish. Okay. Alright, any questions so far? We'll go to lunch, we'll come back, we'll finish this problem up, and I'll leave that on the board for you. Okay, let's go to lunch.
No, I was just talking about yesterday. That didn't happen.
You're not done. You're not done for like a week. You're not here to believe.
Okay. Alright, so right before lunch, what we're talking about, finding the mean. So we added these digits together, and that was the 310 problem. And again, I want you doing that by hand, so if you need to make little columns, you're not gonna have too many numbers. I think 5 is the most you're gonna have today. But we have 6 numbers, so we added together, we got 310. We divided by 6, because there were 6 numbers in that list, and we got 51-ish. There's a remainder. Remember, use that multiplication chart and know how to actually do that thing where you get closest and then you look up to put the number on the top of the house. Okay? So now we have our mean. Our mean over there was 51. So mean is 51 point something. And I think, what do we say, 0.6 or something like that?
0.6,
No, 0.6, okay. So that was the mean. So that's roughly in this range. Well, that makes sense. Alright, so 51 is closer to these numbers than the upper numbers, which is fine. We kind of have a perhaps pretty equal balance here of all these numbers. Alright, and now, we gotta find the median. So the median is the number in the middle. Now, the good thing about picking 6 is now we have to actually go find it. Because the median is in between these two. The median is, because there's 6 numbers, so we have to be between the third and fourth number. It has to be in here because we don't have an odd number. Like the last list I had 7, so there was a number sitting there. But for this, I have to find the number right in between these. So, between 49 and 56, so 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, I'm giving you the visual of what I'm thinking about. Maybe I should put 55, and then 56, alright. So the middle number that's right between 49 and 56, if I cross these out one at a time, is this number. That's the perfect middle of 49 to 56. Okay? Actually, I forgot 52. Ah, what am I doing? Amateur hour. So I forgot the number 52. 52, 53. So the number is right between here. So what's the number between 52 and 53?
52.5.
52.5. Boom. There's your median. I know it's not a number on the list. It doesn't have to be. But it does have to be the perfect middle if you have an even number. So it's the perfect middle between 49 and 56. Alright, is there any questions with how to do that? Again, how you find the middle number, you just, you count with your fingers to go there, or it's an average of the two. You could add 49 and 56 together, divide by 2, literally how you do it. So it's kind of an average itself, which is funny because that's what mean is. It's the mean of those two numbers. Alright, and then the mode. Which number happened the most? Is there any number that happened the most in this? No. So we have, this is not applicable, right? Does not exist, not applicable. D and E. We didn't have a number that repeated, so there's no mode for this problem. So, all right. Any questions with how we're finding these numbers?
Why'd you add a 9?
NA, N-A. Sorry, yeah, non-applicable. So doesn't apply. Sorry, yeah, my A looks funny. All right. Any questions, comments, concerns? Okay, I think the hardest part about today is probably just adding. You have to add the digits, it takes a while, I know that, and then divide. Remember, you have to find all 3 of these for the list that you're going to have to do. So each problem you're going to have will have 3 answers. So, alright, here's your 4 problems today. You have 4 problems, here it is. It is page 27, 1 through 4, that's it. Page 27. 1 through 4, and I believe it's exercise A on that page. There you go. And this is due on Friday. So that's the 16th, a couple days from now. Okay, now, if you have not already, if you have not finished up that page 23, that's the division problems, 1 through 15. You should probably be working on that today, because that's due tomorrow. So I'd work on that right now, page 23 stuff. But if you are done with that, because I know some of you have turned it in, that's great. In fact, let me go through who has actually turned it in. I think Hannah turned it in. Who else turned it in? We got a couple actually. Let's see. Alex turned it in. Jason did. Cole did. Matthew did. So looks like almost everybody. So. All right, but there you go. So if you haven't finished page 23, make sure you're working on that. But here's your new homework. I'm gonna hand some old homework out. Here's what I recommend. If you wanna redo any assignment, like you made mistakes, do that unless you already made changes to it. I think like, Beth, you made a couple fixes, it's fine. So I graded it over. Keep these just for a little while, don't throw them away right away, don't recycle them, because I forgot to enter a score for you, because I do make mistakes every now and then. At least you still have it, and I can enter it back in, okay? So always hold on to these for a couple days until you notice that everything's in the grade book and you're not missing anything. So, and again, if you need to make fixes on a separate sheet of paper, turn it back in, all you have to do is make the fixes on the problem you missed, and I regrade it for you. So,
if we got it wrong, can we do it?
oh yeah, read it wrong. Because it could have been just simple like you just had it wrong. You forgot to carry a number or something like that.
So we'll just give this to you tomorrow?
Yeah, you have to redo, if you're choosing to, if you're gonna redo any problem, you can turn it within 1 week. 1 week from today. So by next Wednesday, so actually next Tuesday, you have to have them done and turned back in. So if you choose to, if you don't, not a big deal, it's your choice. Alex is not here, and here's your. There you go. I believe grades are up to date as of this moment, so everything's entered, so. Okay. Yes, everyone's done with page 23. That's excellent. And what do you got?
I'm sorry, I didn't find this one.
That one? You're adding, that's an 11, carry 11, that's a 9, that's a 3 and a 9. Did you write down the number wrong? Because I didn't have that answer. What problem is that?
Number 6.
6 on page, what page is that at the top?
I wrote page 2.
It's page 10. That's right, you're on the wrong page number. Page 10, number 6. Okay, you had 9,213 plus 84 plus 172. You wrote down the wrong problem.
Oh, is it? I must have done
You must have mixed a couple different problems together.
Okay. No, it's page 10.
Page 10, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I thought that was weird. I saw that and I looked at the problems like, that's page 10 stuff. But
Is it okay to write on a different piece of paper?
yeah, oh yeah, and then staple it to it. Yep, because I know you don't have an each one. That's what I prefer. Always easier to grade.
Yeah, so remainder, so if the remainder is somehow bigger than the divisor number on the outside, you didn't pick a number that was big enough.
Okay. So what if it's exactly the same?
Then you should have went one higher on that number that was above the house. So if like you picked like a 2, you should have probably picked a 3 to put on the top of the house, because you can equal the number on the inside. That's what you need to realize. You just can't be above it. So, yeah, let me take a look. Can I see the problem here? Where you at?
That's right here.
So you did 9 times 8, which is 72. You subtracted 1. You bring down the 7, which is 17. So 9 goes into that. Because you go twice, it's 18. So once is 9. You subtract. If you subtract 17 minus 9, you get 18. That's an 8. That's an 8. That's an 8, not a 9. Yep. That's a simple fix. Yep.
Caleb, what do you want to use?
I'm out to work. Was that you?
What's up?
Can I come in after school to finish my test until he's done?
Yeah.
What up, Carly? Hi, Mr. Ward didn't see, Mr. Ward wasn't in time. I knew that, right off the bat that he was gonna get it. And I was like, that was.
Anybody got?
You said you were gonna get your fish like the second day of school.
Yeah, well, I'm still waiting.
Waiting on what?
Get done with sports right now.
Well, you got, then as soon as volleyball's done, you go to basketball, so that's just
I got
not
at
a
least a
thing.
week there. I got a week there.
Why don't you just go next time you're in Mason City?
Addie, when's the last time I've been to Mason?
What'd your kid do last night?
You take care of my wife who's sick.
I already took my.
What do you do though?
Mr. Ward, because you weren't gentlemen.
What do you do?
I'm sorry. Carly. Carly, are you ready to get our group back together?
No. I mean, do it there. I'm not gonna do it.
Name's Brown.
I know one. She's like, Carly, you're questions and that's like, okay, but did I ask? And she's like,
Okay, Fred, welcome. Let's see. Is Brickman here today?
Did you get a haircut?
Perfect. Yep, Fred, sit right there. Alright, perfect. Okay, Ty, we got Allison, alright, we got everybody except for Matt. Where's Matt at today?
He's at here, school.
Oh, is he? Okay. Alright. Okay, alright, Fred, we need to get your book, so come over here.
Welcome to your first class.
Okay. Book cover on by Friday. So Fred, if you didn't hear that, book cover on by Friday. It's 10 points, all or nothing. So you could literally fail the first week of geometry because you don't get a book cover on that. It could be anything. It could be a paper bag. It could be a little socky thing. So it could be like that. Anyone have a little sock on their book? Like that? Like those? Anything you want. You can be creative. Maybe use a calendar paper. I don't know. Just don't like duct tape it to my book. Just it's got to be on there. Okay. All right. Yep, alright. Okay, alright. So, let's talk about what we're going into today. Just so we kind of know, if you haven't met, Fred here has come from Chicago, so say hi to Fred. There you go, alright. You've all met. Alright, moving on. Alright, here we go. So, we need to talk about section 1.5. We're still in chapter 1. 1.5 is based on angles. That's what we're going to talk about today. So pretty straightforward. I just want to make sure that we're comfortable with the topic that we're in. We are going to do constructions today. We're going to try at least one. We'll see where the time takes us, and we'll finish the rest on Friday this week because Friday is a good day to kind of do constructions, kind of decompress from the week. So we are going to work with a couple constructions today. That's where we're going to use a straight edge, a compass, and we'll kind of go through on how we can create those. Okay, so that's kind of our goal. Now the different constructions we need to talk about this week at some point. Today we're going to talk about congruent angles. So we're going to look at how to do that. Okay, now let's talk about that word. What does congruent mean?
Same, equal, measure,
Yeah.
shape,
And? Shape, measure, and? Size. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to have an angle, and we're going to copy it to a new location on your paper just using a compass and a straight edge, no protractor. We're not measuring anything. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Now the second one eventually that we'll get, I don't know if we'll have time today, we're going to talk about a perpendicular angle. Perpendicular. Now there's a bunch of different perpendicular constructions, but anyone know what perpendicular means again?
It's
Throw it out there.
90 degrees.
90, thank you, yeah. Just throw it out there. I know some of you are like saying it, just throw it out there, okay? So perpendicular, and then the last one we're gonna talk about is how to draw a perfect 60-degree angle using a compass and a straight edge. So compass, straight edge, no protractor in front of you, we're not measuring anything. Okay, hi Maddie, hi. Alright, so, okay. Oh, she's waving at me, that's weird. Alright, so, everyone I have a feeling of what we're doing this week. Okay, we're gonna try to finish, I don't know if we'll get to all these today. The first class today, if you watch the video, we only get to the first one, and so we'll finish the next two on like Friday this week. I just wanna make sure we get through that. Now, just a reminder, we do have homework that's due tomorrow. That's why I don't know how much we wanna get to. I wanna give you like 15 minutes today where you can just kinda work, you can sit together. That's the page 50 stuff. If we need to go through an example of that, I will. Maybe I'll do an example like 4 or 5, just to make sure we know how to do it. Because I didn't answer any questions on it yesterday. I didn't take anything on that. Okay? But that's due tomorrow. It's due Thursday. Okay, so does everyone understand what we're doing here?
Yes.
Okay, now let me preface this, because I did say like these, I post these to the website, right? I videotape them, I post them online. Somebody emailed me the other day. They found the first problem with the website. Because I'll admit, it's a work in progress. Okay, so if you don't know the website, it's hsmath.org. Right? That's my personal website. Okay, it's written over there if you don't know. Alright, HS Math. If you click on the website, right, you can see my lovely handwriting on a chalkboard. It's got, it's got a link for lessons right here. It's got like girls basketball, girls volleyball, student council, whatever. And then if you scroll down the page, you'll eventually see geometry and general math and pre-calc. And if you click geometry, either on the name or the book, it'll take you to what your class. And if you click lessons, it'll do a drop down and say geometry. It's the same thing. It'll take you to the geometry page, right? Where it has a couple descriptions of what geometry is, blah, blah, blah. Then it has all the pictures of the lessons we've done in class, right? Where, on those, it tells us what we did, what the homework was, what the videos were, right? It actually has the video embedded. Now, I know you can't watch YouTube videos here, but you can do it somewhere else on public Wi-Fi, somewhere else. Here's the problem. This is exactly what the website looks like, right there. And somebody emailed me yesterday and said, hey, Mr. Ward, what was the homework that we had yesterday and Friday? I was gone, I've been sick the last couple days. I said, okay, well, it's on the website, and I didn't send that to them. I was just like, it's on the website. What are they asking for? They should know that. I thought, well, maybe they just don't know the website address. You forget it because you don't use it all the time, or maybe never used it. But when I clicked on the website without logging in, just like as you guys would do, you go to the website and this is what you'd see. This is exactly what the website looks like, right? And instead of those bubbles, there's the lessons. What's the problem with how many there are?
There's 6, maybe.
There's what, 10? We've had 20 days of school. Ooh, you can do the math there. There's a problem. Okay? The website was only displaying 10. 10 only. And it wasn't picking the newest 10. It was picking the first day to day 10 and stopped. I was updating everything. I was updating videos, putting lessons in there. But after day 10, they weren't showing. Because it was limited to 10. 10. That was what it was limited to. So here's what I did. I made a fix. And I want you to know how this works, so you're not looking at it confused. And I made this like 10 minutes before the bus ride yesterday, before we went to volleyball, so I'm gonna clean it up tonight. Okay, I put a box around these, right? Put a box and it says chapter 1, blah, 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 right above it. And it has the 4. This, what you're looking at here, is a carousel. It turns, that's what a carousel does. And so it's got a button right here that has arrows. If you click the arrows, it'll take you to all the lessons. Does that make sense now? And so I know that the 20 weren't showing, so what I did is I made a carousel. You can click the button, you'll have to click for a while, and below these they have the date and the sections. So as these first 4, if you click the button, these 4 go, like you'll see them move, and then the next 4 come in, you'll see the date and what the section was. So yesterday was the 13th, it'll say like lesson 1.5 continued, because that's what we did yesterday. You click it, it'll take you to the website where it says what we did, what the homework was, what the video, you can actually watch the video if you are not on school Wi-Fi. And so so I fixed that. And then what I'll do is when we move on to chapter 2, which is next week, right? We have the test, next Thursday I said? Because we'll review it at some point. Maybe it might be Friday, because I don't think we have school Wednesday. Eventually when we move to chapter 2, I'm going to put chapter 2 in its own little carousel. Does that make sense? So that we're not mixing all the videos, so you don't have to click for 9 hours trying to get to chapter 2 stuff. I'll just put chapter 2 here, and you'll know the dates that we started. And then what eventually I'll do, when we're into chapter 2, like a couple days, I'll move chapter 2's videos up. So the newest videos are always on the top. Does that make sense? You don't have to scroll for 2 hours trying to find chapter 2. Okay? Alright, does that make sense? Like the videos, the links, it was my bad, I didn't even realize it, because I didn't see like your side of it. I just see what I do and I always upload, it takes me like an hour every night to upload all that stuff. But eventually it's there, but it wasn't showing, so it's my bad. Something caught me on it yesterday and it's just a work in progress. So there you go. So that'll help you if you need to watch a lesson over. But again, it's not your guys' class I recorded, it's period 2's, but it's the same stuff we cover. So, but there you go. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. I'll clean it up tonight. I gotta fix a couple things so that it looks a little bit prettier, because right now I did it like 10 minutes before the bus ride yesterday. Question?
So if I was like sick tomorrow, when would the
video, I try to post it after school. So it won't be during the day. So if you're sick, I understand that. You're gonna be sick all day. So I try to post them after school. Sometimes it's the next morning, but it's there. So eventually, a couple days later, you can watch it for sure. So like yesterday's video went on this morning. It went on like right when I got here this morning at 7:30 in the morning, because I forgot we had volleyball. So, and I was working on the whole website thing yesterday. Okay, is there any questions with that? That should help you out too. So in case you need to watch something. Okay, all right. Let's talk about constructions though. We got to do some stuff here. Okay, first thing I'm gonna hand out: straight edges. We're not gonna use the rulers anymore. The rulers were terrible, they're wood, they were crap. So we're gonna use these. So, they're just plastic straight edges. They're pretty nice. Basically what I did is I took a zip tie and cut them. They're super accurate. I mean, they're hard plastic. They're not gonna bend on you, and hopefully somebody won't write on them. And so there you go.
Very pretty.
Okay, alright, don't keep these, I'll collect these back. I used these at the end of the year last year, and the group that I had actually really liked these. They thought that these were definitely better than, using the ruler. And I wanna get your personal opinion on it today once we start working with these, okay? So, they're just plastic pieces. I'll make some more. I wanna get them, can I have this? Okay, yeah, just zip ties, really thick zip ties. So, it's clever, right? They don't bend, zip ties are tough. They don't bend, so, I mean, it's a perfect straight edge. It's flat, and it's plastic. So, okay. I'll get some more, because Maddie, do you have that really short one?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. I'll make some more like the others, because if you see what Buck has there, he's got that like 8-inch one. I'll try to make a couple more of those tomorrow, because I got like, what I did is I bought these in like 4-foot bands, and I just cut them. That's all I did, so. I'll make some more for tomorrow. But I think you're gonna like these. These are gonna work out way better than the rulers we used, because those rulers were just utter crap. So, alright. And compasses. So, these should work out. You got 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You're so slow.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and another one here. Alright. Another one. Got 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, perfect. Alright, now hey, let me know if one isn't working for you, like the lead fell out. Remember, when you open up the bag, be careful of those loose pieces in there. You know, there's extra lead. So, so just be careful, don't just like pour it out and shake it. There's stuff in there, so just be careful. Okay, now remember, when you open up the compass, can I see this? Okay, hopefully you have your lead there. I already gotta fix this one, so. You have to use the little gear in the middle to open it up. Don't turn the A-frame, turn the gear in the middle. Okay? Alright, so, I need to fix this one.
It's fine.
Kales.
Okay. Need to fix that one. Okay. That should work. Lead fell off. Oh, I had the gear missing. Oh, perfect. Is the gear in the bag? Because that might be the one where the piece fell out. Alright. Okay, hey, anyone else having a major issue with their compass? Okay, remember, they only open up so far, so lead fall off. It's a quick fix, I just need to take a sticker. For what? Okay.
I have a piece of it.
Oh, okay. So. Da-da-da-da. Let me grab a staple. Alright, who else needs fixes on the lead? Because I know it takes like 1 second to fix it. Can somebody stop spinning those?
Matt Martinson.
Who's got the front one?
I'm waiting for some.
Me too.
Wait till I ask a question.
You can't just ask
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does work.
It
Did you
doesn't
just say
work.
they're slim?
Yeah, I asked.
Yeah.
You didn't.
Caper did it ask.
Exactly.
You just asked her to ask you a question.
Yeah, so you can
I
say.
break
Yeah, I
up.
can't.
I remember
Exactly.
watching that text.
The funny thing is that I
You're
didn't
being
want
too
to.
loud.
You're a solid name or
Yeah.
solid.
Just look at her name
something
stupid. Turn around.
Solid.
Oh.
Yeah, I inherited most of my vocabulary from my dad. Everything that he says, I say.
What?
When's the last time you yelled at you?
Oh,
I don't know, he doesn't yell.
Hey, anyone else need help?
I don't
this?
give a book on me.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking. Caper did it ask. No. Turn around.
I love that so much.
What
It's like,
is that?
I'm gonna cry.
It is.
Fix it, sorry. Alright, anyone else need it? Any need fix, get leads in there? Okay. Alright, here we go. We're gonna fly through this real quick. Hopefully everyone can kind of pay attention, do the best you can. We're gonna try to copy an angle to a new location. So this is construction number 2. This is the second one we learned. We learned the first one like the first week of school. Construction number 2. Construction 1 was we copied a segment to a new location. That's easy, you just use your compass to measure how big a segment was and you copied it to a new line. But our goal here is a congruent angle. So, we have to talk about what we're given, what we're gonna do here. You'll need some space in your paper to do this. This will be maybe one of our only constructions we're gonna do today. Alright, so here's what we're given. We are given an angle. Straight and forward. You have to have an angle on your paper. So, before we start, you need to take your little plastic straight edge, and I would like you to draw an angle on your paper. Now, what I mean by draw an angle, don't draw it microscopically small. We have to draw in it and around it. So, I want it an acute angle, though. So, now if you already drew obtuse, leave it, but it's going to be harder for you. But an acute angle, what does acute mean?
Less than 90.
Less than 90, okay? So take your straight edge, your plastic straight edge, and draw an angle somewhere on your paper. Draw acute. For right now, we can do this for obtuse. It gets a little tricky when you have obtuse with the constructions.
Jeez, friendly.
All right, so here you go. Now, when you have that angle drawn, you can label it ABC. It's not a big deal. Call this triangle A or angle ABC. Okay, this is the angle that we're given. You know, we didn't measure it. You drew it at random. If it's super small, make the rays longer. Trust me, you'll want some decent length to those rays, like what mine is. Okay, are we good with that? Okay, alright, now, our goal here, because I do like to talk about the goal, what we're going to try to accomplish on this construction. We're going to try to draw a congruent angle to the angle provided. So that means, it's a big fancy way of saying, we're going to copy that angle to a new spot without using the protractor. No measurements needed. This is what an architect would do if they're doing a scale. This is what somebody would do in drafting. You know, they're making a detailed plan of where they want to copy that angle to a new location on their drawing, without using the protractor, because the protractor won't be as accurate. There's some room for error on protractors. This will be exact. Okay, this is a 4-step process. 4 steps, and it's really easy. So my steps, I'll write the steps over here, and then I'm going to draw my picture on the other side of the board so you can see that I can separate them. I can put them wherever I want. Okay, so step 1. So step number 1, you will need to use your straight edge. We're going to draw a new ray. Draw a ray on your paper somewhere where you'd like your angle to be. Don't put it in the weird, most obscure corner of your paper, because we have to draw around it, in it, above it, below it, that type of thing. So I'm going to draw a ray somewhere else on my paper where I'd like my angle. My ray is going to be over here. Looks good. Perfect. Boom.
Like beside it or above?
Anyway, you can put it below it, beside it, above it, I don't care. Just put it in a spot where you have some room around it. Like, if I was putting my ray, I would not want to do this. I have no room above it. I have to draw above, below, somewhere around it. So don't do that type of thing. I don't know why people like feel the need to put it in the tightest, closest spot they can fit. Need some space. Okay, we're good with step one. Everyone got their ray drawn?
Yes.
Okay. I don't typically for like when I do this, I try to draw it the same direction as where my angle's going. So like the ray's going that way, my angle's going that way. It's not a big deal. You can put this thing anywhere you want. I can make that thing go up and down if I want and just be a little goofy to look at. Okay, step two. So step number two. This is where it gets a little weird now. So step two, we're gonna use the compass now. So we need to use our compass. And what I would like you to do, take your compass and open up to kind of a random size with your compass. Not like small, but not crazy big. Just kind of medium size on your compass. And what we're going to do is we're going to draw an arc on the original angle. The original angle that was already, that they provided for you. Now you can watch me now. I don't have a protractor up here. I have that weird old school one, but I'm going to use a shoestring because this will work. Shoestring is as good as a compass. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, so imagine this is my compass, my gear's in the middle, I open up, that's good size. Alright, and I'm going to put the little pointy end on letter B. So pointy end on letter B, and then I'm going to draw an arc on the original angle like that. So it hits both walls. Now if your arc cannot hit both walls, maybe you should make it smaller. You didn't have to go as far, because I didn't tell you how big to make it. So you're going to just take your arc, or take your compass, draw an arc on the original angle like that. And you know you did it right if it hits in two locations. You know, it hits two spots like this. This is what I'm looking for. That's important. That has to hit twice. Okay, we good? Now, hopefully you did not change your compass. Leave your compass exactly where you have it right now. If you changed your compass after you did this, you have to recalibrate. You have to put it back to where it was. Okay? Okay, now, once you have that arc drawn, I want you to go over to the new ray over here. Go over to the new ray and copy that exact same arc. But now make your arc a little bit bigger. It's got to be a little bit longer than the original. Like this arc that I've drawn on the board looks about a foot long. That one looks maybe 2 feet long, that type of thing. A little bit longer. So you're going to draw an arc on the original angle and new ray. Okay, new ray. So I modified that description a little bit. Okay, everyone have their arcs drawn?
Yes.
I know it's a little hard to see, sorry that red is terrible, I just threw it away. Alright, now, step 3. We're going to use our compass still. So we're going to use compass, and what we're going to do right now is we are going to, quote unquote, measure the original angle. And I'll explain how to do that. Original angle. You're going to measure your original angle with your compass. Now, how we do that, how you measure the original. Basically, you know those two spots where I circled, where the arc actually hit your original angle twice? Like over here, like can you see the two spots? You're going to put your compass right on those two locations. Notice I'm not using A and C. I don't really care about A and C, I didn't even have to label those. But I want you to put your pencil here, your pointy end right there, right where the arc actually hit, like this. So you can adjust the size, you can change your compass now. Okay, once you have this perfectly measured, you're going to transfer this mark, this distance, over here on your new picture. So that means you're going to have to put the little pointy end right there, and the pencil should be floating up in the middle of nowhere, and you should make that little X. So again, I measured where my arc actually hit. I took my compass to the other picture, and I made my little mark. Okay, does anyone need assistance with that? Help? If you're good at this and maybe your neighbor's struggling, you can slide your desk next to them, help them out a little bit. Okay? Anyone need any help? Don't be afraid if you need help, because I know this one's way more tricky. Okay. Alright. So we gotta take the compass, you measure the original angle, yep, just like that. You go down here, and you put down right where it's not.
Believe that, he's gonna give my pencil back again.
Makes sense? Yeah. Anyone else need help? Easy fixes? Okay.
I do, I need my pencil.
Orange, do you need help? Hey, anyone else need help? This is good? Good fixes? Buck, you getting it? Okay. He's good? Alright. So now that you have that, our last and final step. So again, we measured the original angle with our compass. We transferred that mark. We transferred the mark to the new angle. Transfer that over to our new angle, what that's going to be. So I made that little modification there. And our last step here, this is step 4 now. Step number 4. We're going to draw our final ray. So we're going to draw the final ray. Now, where do you think that ray is going to start?
Or the point.
Yeah,
Point.
the end point is, right? You're going to start on the end point, and guess where you're going to draw it towards?
Through the mark.
Yeah, right where your mark is. X marks the spot. Your little X. You're gonna make your line going right to that X like this. So you're gonna start on your end point, draw it right through there, and there you go. That's your angle. So you start on the end point, you go right through your mark. So if you look at my pictures, they look pretty close. And I use a shoestring. You guys are way more accurate than me. You guys had compasses in front of you that don't bend and move like a shoestring does. That doesn't look too bad. If you did this correctly and you follow the steps, those angles are identical. They are the exact same measure down to the nearest decimal of a degree. Okay. If you try to use the compass to do this, you can get close, or a protractor. You could get close, but there's a margin of error there, maybe 1 or 2 degrees off. This is almost as accurate as you can get without printing it with a computer. I mean, the compass is insanely accurate. Okay, but does anyone need help with that? Anyone not find that final ray? Oh yeah. So yeah, this is
Oh, I get to do that.
mark down here, the mark. Okay, good. Yeah, looks accurate. Okay, anyone else need help? That was good. Need help?
No.
Okay. Alright, so that's what I want to do. I want to finish there because I want to give you at least some time to work on your homework today. Here's what I want you to do. Put your compasses back in a little baggie. Don't drop all the pieces out. If yours has like a problem with it, like the lead fell out or it's just not working quite right, tell me when I'm walking around, I'm going to pick them up. Just put them in the corner of your desk, put a little straight edge in the corner of your desk, because I'll collect those little handles back. Alright, so here's my honest question. Did you like this straight edge better than that weird crappy wood ruler?
Yes.
Okay, we'll continue to use it. I'll make another one so we have more. Because I made them on the fly, I didn't know how it would work.
Rulers sometimes go off to where you want it.
Yeah, exactly. They're too long, the wood bends. Oh, I hate the wood rulers. I don't know why the school buys them. Alright.
Can we get metal rulers?
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna walk around and I'm gonna collect them. So, does that work out for you? Perfect.
Hey Jared, you know who actually is doing your classroom?
Okay, but
Okay, it says, no, draw the ruler. Draw and mark on the original angle and the Put like a
we should do
little,
like a little carrot thing and
yeah,
then
do
a
it,
egg.
do it.
What if he'll get mad at me? I think he'll get mad at me.
Just ask him if you can correct something.
Yeah. Okay.
Mr. Ward.
Oh,
Do it, quickly.
Should this be an A?
hey, oh yeah. Yeah, I start writing and I don't look at what I'm writing down. It happens.
Yep, writing too fast.
You want me to put this there?
Yes, please. Yep, how you feeling?
Okay,
Yeah, okay. What? Yes, you may.
You know what? That's from the last Rick so.
No worries, we'll get it answered.
I would rather look at your straight edge. We have like 15 minutes to work on this. I don't know. Okay, what's the first?
Do I got them all?
I honestly was it last night at like 10 o'clock. Because I fall asleep. Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you if I fall asleep.
You gotta fix this thing.
What? I just said you.
No, he didn't. I wish he did. Say ill. Just say
Oh! You said you.
Huh. I wanna have the little thing. No? Yikes. Alright, that one's good.
Yes, sir.
Question.
Yes, what do you got?
So for number 19, do I just add in the 10 and then multiply it all together? Just add in the 10 and then
Oh, Simon already has. Simon's already
Yep, simple as that. Vertical works that way. Alright. These won't work.
The funniest thing about that, oh my gosh, that was so hard. The most important thing about that is that nobody wants to watch you. Those people who were just watching me, I was like,
The only one, if we're we did like the I got in like 6th grade.